Why do we do this? Why do I continue working when I get home instead of watching TV and having Budweisers? We can't stop.
Get on your dancing shoes. There's one thing on your mind. Hoping they're looking for you. Sure you'll be rummaging through. Oh, and the shit shock horror. You've seen your future bride. Oh, but it's so absurd for you to say the first word. So you're waiting and waiting, and the only reason that you came. So what you scared for? Well, don't you always do the same? Just what you there for? Don't you know the lights are flashing down in here tonight? And so I exchange a glance, but keep pretending to dance. Don't act like it's not happening, as if it's impolite to go and mention your name. Instead you'll just do the same as they all do and hope for the best. The only reason that you came, so what you scared for? Well, don't you always do the same? It's what you're there for, but
The automobile is a machine of supreme function, but more than that, it is, in its highest expression, a work of art. We who sketch, sculpt, design, and build cars are not just building a vehicle of transport. The automobile is much more. It is passion, it is freedom, it is identity. The automobile is beautiful. None of us would be here today if we didn't think so. The collaboration of two individuals within the automotive industry has developed a creative avenue that takes their abilities into a new realm of art and design. Camilo Pardo grew up in New York City and Detroit. Though he was fascinated by 60s and 70s era sports cars and remains at heart an automotive designer, Camilo is in every sense an artist with wide-ranging interest in painting, sculpture, fashion, and design.
For as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to paint and draw. When I was really young, I did a lot of paintings of women in cars, and 40 years later, nothing's really changed.
Don't wanna
I used to sit in my bedroom in New York and look across the walls, and they were covered with, you know, posters of Ferraris and Indy and everything that was going on at the time as far as auto racing, and I knew that I really wanted to have one of these. And I thought that the only way that I could really afford to have one of these race cars is if I worked with them.
Camilo is best known for his world-renowned design of the sensational Ford GT. The car is actually a contemporary interpretation of the classic GT40 sports car, which has intrigued Camilo his entire life.
I used to really idolize Camilo. When I went through school, Camilo was a couple years ahead of me at CCS, and he was like this guy you just heard about. He was like an amazing, I mean, just beyond an artist. He's like the Andy Warhol of automotive design. I mean, people have called him that. He truly is a creative energy source.
The first time I ever met Camilo Pardo was when I did an internship with Andy Jacobson in the Ford truck studio, and Camilo was in that same group. We knew that by Thursday we'd have to have some artwork up on the wall representing what we're working on, and everybody's busy working on that stuff, and Camilo's over in his corner kind of doing his own paintings or things that seem to have nothing to do with what we're working on. On Thursday, when it's time to put the work up, he's got more work than anybody else, and the work is better than anybody else. Whatever it is he's working on, it's all passion-driven. After a day at Ford, Camilo redirects his creative drive through various artistic pursuits at his Detroit studio home. His large, boldly colorful canvases are in demand around the world. His metallic sculptures combine concepts in fine abstract art with tried-and-true automotive design principles. And his whimsical conceptual fashion pieces have appeared in several exhibits and auto shows.
After a day of designing cars, I need to get away from it for a little bit, go in my studio, reconfigure what I've been working with at Ford and apply it in an abstract manner into fashion and furniture and painting.
With an understanding that all art forms in turn feed one another, Camilo knows that his ongoing artistic journey continues to bring vital oxygen to his work in automotive design. As CEO of one of the premier metal stamping operations in the industry, Michael Chetcuti draws on the education he received in the tool room and on the shop floor.
Quality Metalcraft is a company that's totally a vertically integrated manufacturing facility for metallic components. This is the Foose Edition hood for classic design concepts. This is the Foose side shields. For 40 or 50 years, we've just been manufacturing car parts and doing some engineering. Then the whole architectural art, non-automotive thing kind of came about when I met Camilo.
We like the idea of taking our knowledge and expertise of designing and engineering automotive components for the number of years that we've been doing it and bringing that to a different audience.
Michael Chetcuti, when you meet him, you would never know the businessman side of him. He is a businessman, but it's the passion that comes through first. You might call him up and say, hey Michael, I got this idea, what do you think about doing this? And before anything else, he's saying, I love it, let's do it. It's not addressing it as a business project and looking at the numbers first. If it's something that involves passion, he's all over it.
Chip came to me a couple years ago with a motorcycle that he had concepted for, I believe it was Autorama, and he said, hey, I'd like to build a production version of this bike.
He decided he wanted to go into production with that bike. And again, it's that passion that Michael brought into it that he not only duplicated the bike that I built, but I think he made it better. Michael has the unique ability among manufacturers to grasp the subtlety of great automotive design. More important, he is a craftsman. He can bend the metal to fit the designer's vision. I'm doing another project with Michael right now, the Motor City Casino, which we're doing some amazing steel work into that building that I can't wait to see all of that come through and be finished, and it's a dream come true. The stainless steel that we're putting into this building is one of the largest installments of metal into architecture in all of North America. Michael's got a big job ahead of him with Quality Metalcraft. When you give them something, they give you something back that it's 150% better than you thought you'd get. You look at the Mercury Lounge furniture that Camilo Pardo has designed. Beautiful stuff. This stuff belongs in museums. In the sculptural works for Mercury HG, Camilo and Michael's abilities produce captivating works of art.
The pieces are phenomenal, like nothing you've ever seen, very futuristic, and I think timeless in a way. They'll be relevant for years to come.
Whether abstract or truly functional, these works reflect a specific time and place. Certainly, they could have been produced nowhere but here, and at no time but now.
Camilo and I couldn't have done this without the energy of Detroit.
What happens is you get done with work, you come home, and you start to realize that you design all the time. It's not just an 8-hour thing. You live to design, you continue to design, you're always trying to figure out a different design. The minute your eyes are open, and probably even when you're sleeping, you're trying to work out a different design.
In all of his artistic modes, Camilo is first and foremost a car designer. Therefore, in this unique collaboration, the works of Mercury HG are rife with automotive DNA. After all, their passion still lives with the automobile.